Now that we have learned what Vygotsky's social-cultural theory on cognitive development is all about, let us compare it with another widely known theory by a psychologist named Piaget. Greetings of peace, everyone. I am Fatima Zora Bantuas Disimban. In order for us to better understand kung papaano nga ba nagde-develop ang ating thinking o ang ating learning, let us examine these two influential theories side by side. Let us recall that we previously learned from Module 6 that Piaget came up with stages of cognitive development. It means that as we grow and develop, mula pagkapanganak natin until tumanda, we all undergo these 4 universal stages, coming from stage 1, yung sensory motor, up until stage 4 o yung formal operational stage. However, in Vygotsky's case, hindi siya nag-propose ng distinct stages. Instead, he emphasized na merong 2 central factors that primarily influence our cognitive development. And those are, first is the social interaction, and second is language. Para mas madali nating maalala, here is a summarized table that contains the key differences between Piaget's theory on stages of cognitive development and Vygotsky's social-cultural theory. Firstly, Piaget's is more individual in focus, while Vygotsky's is more social naman in focus, which means that Piaget looks inward kung ano yung nasa loob ng isang tao, his own thinking and own personal development. On the other hand, Vygotsky looks further kung ano naman yung outside that person, and that pertains yung kanyang external or surrounding environment. Next, Piaget believed that there are universal stages that all of us go through as we develop. However, Vygotsky, as I've mentioned earlier, did not involve any specific stages. Rather, he emphasized on cultural factors that affect our growth and development. And lastly, Piaget also did not give much emphasis on language, whereas Vygotsky stressed the role of language in our thinking development. Starting off with social interaction. Again, Piaget's is more individual, while Vygotsky's is more social. Therefore, in Piaget, cognitive development comes from the child's own individual processing. And this depends kung anong age na niya, kung nasa ang stage na siya ng kanyang development, and consequently, ano yung mga abilities niya in accordance to that stage. And this is independent to other people. On the other hand, in Vygotsky's, regardless kung anong age o stage na niya, mas relevant yung social environment o pakikitungo and experience ng isang bata with other people. Let's say for example, in teaching. Kung titingnan natin sa perspective ni Piaget, mas mainam na little intervention lang yung gagawin ng teacher. Therefore, hindi na masyadong makikialam at hahayaan na lang niya yung bata na matuto ng siya lang, independently. Conversely, sa perspective ni Vygotsky, napakalaki at importante ng role ng teacher para ma-assist at guide niya yung learning ng student. Therefore, kung paano magtuturo yung teacher will play a major role kung paano at gaano rin matututo ang bata. Therefore, yung effectivity ng pagkatuto ng isang bata crucially depends sa participation niya sa various social activities, kung saan he gets to play and interact with other children and they learn from each other and together. Lahat din ng nasa environment ng bata ay maaaring makakontribute sa learning process. Kasama na dyan yung mga parents, teachers, and other adults. Maaari silang makatulong sa pag-explain, pag-assist, and give directions kung papaano gawin yung iba't ibang bagay. And of course, magbigay ng feedback sa performance ng learner. This way, ma-assess din ng learner kung tama ba o hindi yung kanyang ginawa and ano yung dapat niyang baguhin sa susunod. Yung mga peers naman natin o yung mga kaibigan natin can also cooperate and collaborate with us to even enrich the learning experience. Next, we have cultural factors. In Piaget, as the child develops and matures, he goes through the orderly stages o yung magkakasunod-sunod talagang stages of development. Coming from simple explorations, gamit lang yung kanilang senses and muscles, just like when we were still babies, diba? We just grasp and suck, but until tumanda na tayo and we reach a certain stage, we can already do complex logical reasoning. Meanwhile, Vygotsky emphasizes the crucial role that culture plays sa learning development ng children. Dahil sa sobrang magkakaiba ng ating mga culture at kinagisnan, sobrang magkakaiba rin yung pagkakadevelop ng ating pag-iisip. Due to a wide range of experiences that our cultures give to us, nagkakaiba rin tayo ng paniniwala and the way that we build our mindsets, personalities, and how we choose our behavior. Let us say, for example, the value of marriage and education between groups of people. Looking from Piagetian perspective, we believe that at a certain age or stage ng ating life, we should all have similar mindset kung kailan tayo ikakasal o magkakasawa. For instance, siguro pagkatapos nating mag-aral o makapagtapos ng kolehiyo. However, from Vygotskian lens, there can be vast differences on our ways of thinking depending on our cultures. For example, may ibang culture kung saan na paniniwala nila ay mas importante makapag-asawa na kaagad ang isang dalaga at an early age para ma-secure nila yung kanyang future in terms of finances. Therefore, acquiring higher education would not be much of a priority. In contrast, may mga culture naman kung saan they regard early marriage as immoral. So, they definitely would not commit to such at mas priority nila na makapagtapos ng pag-aaral. From this example itself, we can already witness the impact that culture has on the lives of different people coming from different backgrounds. Finally, where Piaget did not tackle much about language, Vygotsky emphasized that language is not only to communicate with others, but also as a means of developing one's own thinking. Our language, yung paggamit natin ng words or symbols to interact or communicate with others, actually also opens doors for us na mga learners to acquire even more knowledge from others who already have them. Through sa pakikipag-usap natin, pakikinig, at pakikipag-communicate sa iba, nakakakuha tayo ng knowledge from them at sila rin from us. As a result, we can learn from each other's languages to know and understand the world and use this information to solve real-life problems. As I've mentioned earlier, language does not only serve a social function para lang makapag-intindihan tayo sa isa't isa, but it also has a significant individual function para mas maintindihan din natin ang ating mga sarili mismo. Kung paano? It helps us as learners to regulate and reflect on our own personal thinking. Let us take these as examples. Yung isang bata, napakabuti ng mga words na lumalabas from her. Yung tipong lagi niyang nakikita yung best in other people and she chooses to utter compliments sa mga nakikita niyang maganda sa kanyang kapwa. When asked why she acts this way, her parents then realized na kasi ganoon din yung language na ipinapakita o ipinaparinig nila sa kanya. Kaya naman, napoproject niya rin ito sa iba. It already became part of her personality and behavioral development. Similarly, na-realize ng parents na hindi rin dapat nila ipinaparinig kapag sila ay nag-aaway o nagsisigawan kasi makakaapekto rin ito sa paglaki ng bata. This time in a negative way. In fact, children also talk to themselves. Ito yung tinatawag nating talking to oneself. Kung mapapansin nyo, di ba kapag naglalaro yung mga bata around preschooler age, parang ninanarrate nila kung ano yung ginagawa nila. For example, kapag naglalaro sila ng luto-lutuan, bigla na lang silang magsasalita ng, I'm going to cook this, then I'm going to put this in my plate and drink my milk. Diba? Bigla na lang natin silang maririnig. If this is the case, then we don't have to worry because this is a good sign pala. Kasi it is an indication that the thinking of the child really goes in his mind. This talking to oneself then eventually leads to what we formally call as private speech. Ito na yung form of self-talk that guides the child's thinking and action. For example, when a child struggles to go up a ladder, he can utter private speech that says, go up and then down, then up and up again. This is to comfort his fear and guide him in achieving his goal of reaching the top. Finally, from all of these learnings, we can conclude that Vygotsky believed in the essential role of activities in learning. So, children do not just learn simply by listening passively. Instead, they learn the best through hands-on activities by which they can involve themselves and interact with other learners and also their teachers. This interactive learning process becomes even more fruitful and productive when learners get to interact with knowledgeable adults and peers, because in this way, they can guide, assist, and teach them. Ultimately, cognitive development involves a continuous effort to adapt to the environment. In this sense, both Piaget's and Vygotsky's perspectives of learning are similar in nature. And that concludes our learning journey for today. I hope to see you in the next one.